welcome back to another edition of Around the Piano. We're going to introduce our guests in just a second here, but first, hey, Drew, you back here?
I am back here. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good today. Yeah.
Good. Just getting over a little bit of this congestion stuff that's going on that kids like to bring home to you. You know,
well, that's what you get for having kids in school. You know?
That's what I get for having kids. Stop it right there.
So stop it right. Yes, that's right.
Right. Everything's been great. We got a lot of new shows coming around the corner. And listen, folks, check us out at 216 Creator Studios on the old YouTube. Click that live tab, like, share, subscribe, smash that bell. We do appreciate your time. And just like any other episode, this episode is brought to you by Piano Trends Music Company. Tim,
I've heard of them. I hear they're pretty good. They've been around for a while now.
Yeah. I think the owner's a little off.
Well,
but you know,
more than a little.
Well, check it out, folks. Listen, we are at the end of the school year, which means you blink your eyes twice. We're coming back into a new school year. Come lease to own the instruments for your kids. Now serving every local community, even outside of the local community. You go to pianotrends.com, click on the instrument section, pick out what you want. Reach out to Tim if you need to at
pianotrends.com or give us a call at 815-47-PIANO. And you can also email us at info@pianotrends. So whatever question you got musically, we're there to help.
That's awesome. So let's go ahead and introduce these two good-looking people right here. What do we got? What are we doing?
We'll go from right to left to left to right, depending on how you're looking at it. We've got two members of a wonderful local regional group, Bourbon Country, that we're going to talk about today. We have Leggee. And we have Jody Fields back here. Welcome, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It's good to see you guys again. You know, and I kind of feel that they feel like maybe I'm an honorary member of
For sure.
Country.
You have performed with us.
Yeah.
So that's official.
So I should have brought my captain's hat.
Yeah, that would have been good.
I was going to bring my cowbell, but I didn't want to show off.
Well, the cowbell and Tenille. No, that wasn't.
Different song.
That's right. Oh, different.
Yeah, just to put that in perspective, when I played one song with you guys, and it was Captain Tenille.
It's a very good song.
A very good song, and the love kept us all together.
It was fun. That was a fun show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of fun show, we got another show coming up tomorrow night at Rouse Center for the Arts in Crystal Lake, and it is a kind of a continuation, because the Bourbon Country concert was canceled due to a snowstorm back in January.
Yes,
the only
it was.
snowstorm that we had
It was.
last winter.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah. 2 hours before showtime. Here it comes.
I pouted for 2 days after that, I think.
Yeah, you kind of build up to it, you know.
You do.
Yeah.
And then it's just the rug
I
is
was like,
pulled out.
I was mad. But you know, it is what it is. And truth be told, you know, I had a bit of a cough, you know, in January and end of December, and I was recovering from it, and I could sing, but I'm going to sing better tomorrow night than I would have in January.
You know, God works in mysterious
Yeah,
ways.
right.
That's
It
right.
could have been a blessing. I think I'm not the only one, too. You know, there's a lot of crowd going around. So.
Yeah. But you know what? I think what is really cool about tomorrow night's show that you guys told me about, a year ago, you were the artist in residence at the Rouse Center. So you had 4 performances during the year. And each show is unique. Now, tomorrow night's show is a compilation of that. It's kind of the greatest hits of that.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow night.
Yeah, we went back and somewhat subjective, but we think we picked the 4 best songs from each show, or at least, you know, based on kind of our feel. You know, you get a feel for the audience, how they're reacting to it, and how we felt we did with those songs. And so we picked 4 from each show approximately, and then we're going to add in a few new ones, and that'll be the show. So it'll be really good.
Because it's going to be a lot of different genres. It's not just country. It's not just a little rock and roll.
There's some jazz in there, I think, and some blues, and we're, as we usually are, we're all over the road with our music. We try to, when we hear something that we really think is something we can do well and that will please the audience, that we grab it.
Then you do it.
Yep.
Well, here's a pic of the website here. Wow, awesome looking crew you got there.
Yeah.
So that's May 3rd, 8 p.m. at the Rouse Center for Arts. We're going to give a little click on that as well, folks. If you go to the Raue website, You can see pricing. You can see, I think you can even pick your own seat. It looks like.
Mhm.
Awesome, awesome. And then I have it scrolling along the bottom here too. So for pricing for anybody that wants to see, go check them out. Great band. I've heard you guys plenty of times. I am a huge fan. And if I convince the boss at home that I can go, then I will be there. I
How about
promise.
date night? Get a babysitter.
Yeah.
Right. We don't need a babysitter. We need like an army to watch my kids for sure. But yeah, looks good.
Awesome. So Jody, what is your favorite song to sing?
Oh, well, I guess I'm a big Karen Carpenter fan, as you know.
Yeah.
And I can cover her decently because I have a low voice like she did, and so I always try to do one Karen Carpenter song for each Roue show that we've been blessed to be able to do, and so this time I'm doing "Goodbye to Love,"
Ooh.
which has her beautiful low voice in it, but it's also got like a screaming guitar solo in it. It's like a juxtaposition of her,
It is. It's
her
really
soft
interesting
voice
song.
and then this muddy guitar solo that is just iconic. And if you know the song, you know what I mean. But we have a new guitarist with us this year, Rich Prezioso, who is just really gonna knock your socks off, especially in this particular.
So he's got the guitar solo.
Oh yeah, and he's so good. You'll all really enjoy his skills. So that's probably my favorite song that I get to sing in this show. Although I don't know, close second to Glenn Campbell. Wichita Lineman.
Yeah, it's a
That'd be
classic.
good too. But I know that going back to Goodbye to Love, Tony Peluso was the guitarist for the Carpenters at all those years. And I believe he passed away a few years ago.
Oh.
Also, but yeah, that's a great.
Great
That was my mother's favorite Carpenter song. Was Goodbye to Love. Yeah, so
really?
that was
It's a great song.
It is a great song, and that guitar solo just really ties it all together.
Mm-hmm.
It's really-
The heartache of saying goodbye to love, and she kind of comes around in the lyrics where she's like, well, maybe someday I'll be strong enough to try love again, but not today. It's a great song.
It really is. So Wichita Lineman, that's another good tune.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Randy, you're kind of all over the place. You talk about the band being all over the place. You're all over the place on the stage because you're either playing guitar, singing some lead, you hop over on a keyboard during the show.
Not as good as you, but
Oh yeah,
I get by.
good more than get by. But it'd be fun. In fact, we'll get the piano all tuned up for you a little later, and
Good.
it'll be ready to go tomorrow night.
Good, yeah, we've got some piano songs. So.
Yeah. So what's your favorite tune to play? Which one do you look forward to?
Oh, it's like one of your children, right? I tend to sing most of the country songs that we do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. We've got a great one tomorrow night called "Where I Find God" by Larry Flynn, and it's a beautiful song about a guy who was lost and really found what was important in life.
Yeah.
But I'd have to say, and I hate to just pick songs from tomorrow because I know you're asking a broader question, but I'd have to say Desperado. I really love that song. I love that song. And certainly tomorrow night, that'll probably be one of my favorites.
Yeah. I remember you did that at the very first concert, the outdoor concert over at St. Mary's concert.
Yeah, we play it fairly often. It's nice at the theater because we play with the piano, so that makes it special. So.
It does.
Yeah.
It's a great tune.
Yeah.
So what's coming up this summer? I understand you got quite a busy summer. So
we do. Yeah. We're all over McHenry County and even some in Lake County. Probably too many to mention, but give a plug for Bourbon Country Music on Facebook. So if you want to check us out, we will be. We should probably overdue for posting our schedule for the summer because we pretty much have cemented a lot of things now. we can put them out there. So that would be the best thing that I would suggest. I mean, some of the highlights, I mean, we really enjoy playing Sunflower Festival at Tom's Farm Market in LA. We're playing a few of their nights. Yeah, and I know that if my wife who works at Tom's or any of the other people listen to this and hear that I call it Sunflower Festival, which it is not called. That's my pet name for it. I believe it's called Sippin' Sunflower, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
they
it
have wine
is.
tasting there.
You just started a new
It's
trend.
pretty
Everybody's calling it
Festival.
now.
It just sounds
Sunflower
bigger,
Festival. Brought to you by Bourbon Country.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Well, so that's always a fun time. We're playing some bars in Lake County that we've never played before. Towards the end of summer, actually into the fall, we're playing Cary Main Street Fest, which is going to be a kind of a new rebirth of what Cary Chamber did.
Sure.
In downtown. They'll shut off the downtown and bands for 2 days, and it'll be a great festival. So we're looking forward to that. But I don't want to start talking about September right now, so we're starting to get some good days here, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And what I find interesting about Bourbon Country is that you guys can either be a duo, a trio. You kind of transform to the venue and the type of show that you're going to put it on, all the way up to a 10, 11 piece band.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And really what we do, I love, shout out to our local places that we play, Aroma in Crystal Lake, and Vine and Plate, one of my favorites. We cram into a tiny corner, and Paul doesn't bring the drum kit, obviously. He sits on a cajon, and we go a little more acoustic. So it's a completely different show or performance than
Right.
what we do at the Raue,
Mhm.
where have the full kit and the lead guitarist and the full drum, the drum set, and then we bring in, extra musicians. We have Tom and Lexi coming to play strings with us at the Raue.
Right.
So it's kind of a different thing that we do, and I love that too, that we're
Yeah.
versatile and we can play some of the smaller venues and people are sitting at the bar having dinner.
But we play different songs too,
Yeah.
Sure.
There's some that people always want to hear, so we play them everywhere usually. But our song list is up to just under 200 songs, which is pretty extensive. So we can go anywhere we want to go.
Yeah.
We've had certain places that want exclusively country. Like we can play 40 country songs if that's all you want. Some people need a mix, or there's just all kinds of things. So it's nice to have that variety, so we can play different things at different places.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I also find it really interesting, and I think it's really cool. I know you guys are more than good enough to take this gig on the road. You got to want to play regionally around the Midwest or take it wherever you wanted to. You could if you wanted to, but obviously the day jobs probably keep you kind of local.
I still have a day job.
Yes, she does.
But I know you like to stay local with you, and you keep busy.
We do.
Just doing it local as well.
Although you had a world tour very recently.
Yeah, I did. Self-proclaimed world tour. Well, I did play.
Self-proclaimed.
I did play across the pond. It's legit. It wasn't a gimmick.
That's awesome.
It was not a gimmick. I was lucky enough. We have some relatives in Luxembourg, and they happened to work at the embassy, U.S. Embassy in Luxembourg. And before our trip over there, they had said, "Hey, Randy, are you willing to play for the staff of the embassy and guests?"
Yeah.
And so I did. Played for a couple hours there. They got me a guitar because I wasn't going to drag mine around in Europe for 11 days.
Right?
So they got me a guitar, and I took some music, and yeah, it was a blast.
That's pretty cool.
It was surreal. It really
So
was.
what kind of music do they like over there in Luxembourg?
It's interesting because most of the embassy people are American. And so a lot of, basically I sent them our song list. I said, pick whatever you want, because I don't care, pick what you like. And it's interesting when you see that they basically pick, the same songs that we think are most popular when we play it. They wanted Johnny Cash, and they wanted the Eagles, and they wanted America, and they want, Sweet Caroline. Yeah, I played Sweet Caroline. They were dancing on the tables of that. It was like we were here. It was really,
Sure.
really kind of interesting. And most of them speak English and everything, so it was fun.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, next stop, the White House, I guess.
Well, maybe.
You know.
Maybe. We haven't got the call yet.
Not yet. So, Jody, you happen to be married to a drummer.
Yeah,
The drummer.
sexiest drummer on the
Yeah.
planet.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Well, we did have a
That cut
conversation on Facebook about he was the eye candy for your band.
He is. Well, you can tell from the picture that you put up before. I mean,
Yeah,
you know, he puts that cowboy hat on. It's
I
like,
know. It's all over.
well, it's just good that you block the stairs now at the house, so we don't have anybody, you know, charging the stage. Yeah, that's good. Don't want anybody out of control there.
That's funny.
It's
So,
your fault he became a cowboy. Like this is, new.
I just laid the groundwork and then he took it from there.
so you gave him the cowboy hat to start.
No, I didn't even give it to him. He went out and bought it.
He was all in, and now he's got like he's got 2 Stetsons, and when he calls me on my phone, a picture lights up with him in Boot Barn, and there's like rows of
Wow.
boots, and I'm like, hey, cowboy.
Plug out the food barn there here in Crystal Lake.
That's
I'm like,
Well, there's
where's my
it right
ball,
there.
man? Yeah, cowboy ball now.
Yeah,
So he's the one with the cowboy hat, huh?
Yes,
Oh,
is.
yeah.
he is.
embraced-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and great picture there. Thank you, Nancy Merkling Productions. We'll
Yes.
throw a little plug out for Nancy too and her crew. Took that for us
Mhm.
under duress somewhat. We said, hey, we need a picture like right now.
Yeah, it turned out beautifully.
Wow, that came out great for a right now picture.
Yeah, she's special.
Yeah,
Her whole team is.
they're great.
Yeah.
And that was Jim Seidel on bass there. He's phenomenal. And Rich Prezioso. And then
Let me bring it back.
me and Paul and Randy.
Yeah, that's the 5 of us. Then we'll be joined at the Raue by Alexi Hagedorn on cello and Tom Boss on a couple things. He'll be playing violin. He'll also be playing some piano.
excellent.
So that'll be our.
Pretty multi-talented.
Oh,
dude.
he's
He's fairly talented.
Possibly cappuccino on the triangle and or
Yeah.
the cowbell.
He's working up to
I'll be way in the back. That's where Randy's gonna put me. No,
we
keep
just
going.
won't mic you.
Keep going.
that.
Yeah, Tom, they're phenomenal, and they're playing like I'm thinking we're doing Cold, Chris Stapleton's Cold.
Yeah.
It's a gut wrenching song, and Paul can sing it really, really well.
Mhm.
And we practice it, at rehearsals, and the hair stands up in my arms, and it's so good. And then Tom and Lexi come in and play the strings on that tune, and it is knock your socks off, amazing. Like it'll be gorgeous. It'll be really gorgeous. And yeah, the strings add so much, and we're really lucky that they can play with us because they're great.
I think Tom's one of the finest talents, musical talents to come out of Crystal Lake.
Yeah.
Of course, the
Mhm.
family is.
Certainly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was with his mother and his father way back.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's going to be exciting. So tomorrow night at the Raue Center, make sure you check that out. You're gonna be so much variety with the show tomorrow night. You just don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So what's the future of BC? Thinking ahead a couple years, we're going to keep doing kind of what you're doing, or do you have some new plans?
We haven't really come up with any kind of 5-year plan or anything
Yeah.
like that. Nor really discussed it. I see it just continuing on the way we are. We usually pick up, I don't know, half a dozen new places every year that just kind of happen for whatever reason. People hear about us, or we just run across something, and so we always like to do that. We like to play new places. That's fun. So we'll probably continue to do that. But I don't think other than that, we'll be doing much different than where we are right now.
That's a good thing. It means we're going to get to keep hearing you.
Yeah, I hope so. Every once in a while, Bourbon Country is, evolved over the years, and things happen. People move away, so
Sure.
we put it in person or whatever. So it's always evolving like that.
Musically, especially, I think.
Yeah.
Every new person that comes in
Oh yeah.
brings their little bit of
Well, something
Definitely.
taste, and so Bourbon Country. One of the greatest, the most common compliments that we get is that people say, "We love your set list," and I say, "Well, that's Randy. Randy does that because Randy, he picks such a wonderful variety of music most of the time, unless of course people request just country or whatever, But I'm always amazed at how it all comes together, and when our genres are all over the board, and when, like, I'm sure when Paul and I came in, Paul brought in a little bit of a rock influence. I brought in some jazz. Now Rich Prezioso is new with us, and he's amazing. And he kind of comes from a folky background, and all huge talents, and I think that flavors the music. And I think that musically we're really growing in leaps and bounds, and that's super exciting to me.
You did, and I know. How long has Bourbon Country been in existence?
This is our 13th.
13th year. Now, how'd you come up with the name Bourbon Country? What's the history?
Good question.
It is. My partner who started the band with me, Nathan Macy, we sat around and we're just kind of jamming one night, and it kind of was, I don't know, he was a brilliant singer and acoustic guitar player, and we just, we both had a love of country, went to school in Nashville, and, we just started really very organically like that, and said, hey, we kind of sound good together, and that's when we started the band. We didn't have a name at first, actually. Our name that we used was Rathan, which was Randy and Nathan. So as you can tell, we had an immediate need to change it. There's still something on my computer somewhere that's an original recording. Well, we never expected that was going to be the name. Right. It was a working title, right? But we both like bourbon a lot, and we really formed as exclusively a country band. So Jody's talking about this variety that evolved over time. We were strictly country when we first started for 4 years, really, that he was with me before he got moved to California. So we just kind of came together. It was Bourbon Country, and we were a little nervous that the people in Kentucky would, who have trademarked that name and are much bigger than us because they're an entire state of bourbon distilleries, might come after us, and I guess we're just not big enough for them to worry about.
So that's the real reason you stayed local.
Yes, we're not going out of the state where they make it. There's other laws that might. No, that's simple. That's how we came up with the name, and it just kind of stuck. We liked it, and I have a very talented son-in-law who's a graphic designer, and he did the logo that you saw there in the picture before. And
yeah, it's well done.
It's he's brilliant, and so that's the way it came together. And like I said, it was 4 years of country, and then when Warren joined me, he came from a rock world, and that's when we started getting the Eagles and America and Van Morrison and stuff like that. And so, like Jody said, it's just each person that comes in, they just kind of bring their own thing, and we just ended up with this amazing mix that we love.
Sure.
So,
well, and between you and me and Paul, we can do 3-part vocals really well, which makes all that kind of stuff. Eagles and American, it makes it really nice.
So maybe some Bee Gees is on the horizon.
Yeah.
Can't sing that high.
I can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I find it fascinating though how bands come up with their names. On that, I know one of the first bands I played in, a couple of years ago, it was we couldn't come up with a name either, but there were 4 of us in the band, so we started a working title, the 4 of us. And we never came up with anything else. So we remained the 4 of us.
Simple enough.
Even if it was just 2 of us playing, it was
the 4 of us. That's neat.
So I find that fascinating because I know some of the stories behind some of the famous band names are always interesting too.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, mine wasn't more interesting, but
no, I think that was very interesting.
Very realistic.
Yeah, I thought you were going to tell me what.
No, that's a great story.
It was somewhere in the country.
Well, that's kind of true too.
Yeah, true.
It's my basement, but yeah.
I would love to pick a day where we have the whole band around the piano and make it full exclusive. And the room right next to us is going to be for live band recordings, and then you guys can put out a couple songs.
That'd be fun. It'd be fun to do that. Yeah,
put something together.
Sure.
I have to say,
talk to my guy. And he'll let me know.
Bourbon Country Greatest Hits.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, I love it.
That'd be fun.
Yes, I love it.
Our band, the people in our band are not only phenomenal musicians, but really, really good people. Like I can't ever say that I've enjoyed a band as much as this one, as far as just I enjoy being with the people in the band. That really, I think it shows in the way we connect musically. We all get along and we enjoy each other's company, and they're all fantastic musicians, you know.
They
So
are. And you know, in the one time that I played with you guys, it was fascinating that okay, you got 10 people there and they all melded together, they all got along, and only 3 of the band members told me to stop playing. And so it was
So the majority.
So the
were
majority
for it.
were-
Right.
So it worked out really well.
All of them were thinking it.
They were,
Let's be honest.
I agree.
that was fun. We had a horn section for that
Yeah.
Yeah,
show.
that was we kind of blew out the last show.
Marimba.
We had to run
That was
yeah, 3
October
horns.
last
No, it was March. It was-
March. That was
the
the March
last
show.
show, yeah.
Of course,
In
yes.
fact, I remember I had Terry Gwines was right up
Yep.
behind me
Yeah.
on the piano. Okay, I hear the trumpet. I'm not sure I hear anything else. But yeah, it all worked out. It was fun. So going back to how you pick out the songs, you were obviously the one who gets to set it. How do you go about choosing a song? Are they just songs that you like, that just hit you, or do you have a method to your madness?
You know, usually our procedure is obviously anybody can bring a song to practice and say, hey, what do you think
Yeah.
of this? You know, and that's kind of the way we do it. But I've probably done the majority of it, just, I don't know, for whatever reason, by default, I've done it. And it for me, when I hear a song, no matter where I am, it may be a song I know, mostly it is. I listen to it and I go, no, that's not us. Not that we couldn't do it, but it doesn't give me enough feel that would be. So I take it really very deeply and seriously because there's a lot of songs out there. We could play a lot of songs. But you know, I just remember I was literally at a wedding reception in Moringa. I was sitting at a table with my family and everything. It was a good friend of ours. The daughter got married, and they had a DJ, and he started playing "Kiss Me." And now we do that song because I heard it and I go, oh my God, that's Jody, and yeah, English band. And so, I mean, it's just random things like that. I'll be in a grocery store and I'll hear a song or whatever. And I make a note of it. I have a list on my phone, Bourbon Country songs. And when we have time to learn them or feed them in, we do.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the very unorthodox way that we do it. It's not, I mean, there are certain songs that, you know, I really like, and I try to see if everybody else likes them and see if we're going to do them. We don't reject many. I mean, sometimes we might practice one and we go, I don't know if we can make this sound the way we want to make it sound. Right. We don't do it. But that's basically it. And so once we went through the learning curve of, you know, getting everybody up to speed with 100 and some songs, almost 200 songs, it's really quite easy to put the set list together. If you can imagine with that kind of, you know, so thanks for the compliment, but it's pretty easy to pick the songs because, you know, we have such a variety, and I just kind of think about the place that we're playing. And, you know, do we really need to bang it out? You know, some of the festivals and outdoor stuff, we need to really rock.
You do.
Yeah. And so that's the way I put it together. It's not really too scientific.
It's hard keeping it down to a short enough show because we just keep wanting to add songs because we love them so much. So we keep wanting to add more and more songs. And Randy keeps us in check. It's like, no, somebody will fit in the show.
She says we, she means Paul Field.
Yeah.
Because Paul, about every few wears we're getting ready for our show. He's like, you know, maybe we should do this. Paul, we got 21 songs. We're done. You know, it's this and then intermission and then we do this and then we're done. You know, this isn't just a 3-hour festival.
To his credit, he puts the songs in order for the show. That's become his role. We call it the Palgorithm. He runs the songs through the Palgorithm.
That's brilliant.
Yes. Because it matters what key it's in, the energy level. He rates them on a scale of 1 to 5. He tries not to have it go down a key. He tries to have it always go up, you know, and it's who's singing it, it's what kind of instrumentation, who's got to switch guitars. Yeah. It's a very complicated
thing.
That
is a scientific method that he uses.
It takes him like half a day to get the order of the set list, you know.
It's very well thought out. I just say, okay, these are the songs, so just stay within the boundaries here.
And
he does.
He does. But we're always happy with the end product after he runs it through the Palgorithm, you know.
Yeah. So let's have a little contest here. Anybody who's watching this, whether you're watching it live now or as we repeat this later, let's guess the opening song tomorrow.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Is there a prize?
Yeah, there'll be a prize.
Yes.
Yeah. The prize is
You can
get
collect
to
your
go-
prize at Piano Trends.
I was just going to say we all go to Randy's for dinner.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
That will be located at Piano Trends.
Yeah.
Let's come in and get your free guitar pick
That's right.
for winning.
We'll come up with a prize. We'll have some sort of a prize. If somebody comes up with and knows and Paul cannot play. Okay, so
I don't think any of us should be.
unless you don't know yet. Then
No, we definitely
you
know.
definitely know. Okay. So the opening song tomorrow night at Rouse Center is. Go ahead, put it in the comment field or send us a message, and
Yep.
if you happen to be right, well, we'll come up with a prize, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. We'll be checking the comments even through time.
Yeah.
Just
In
to kind
fact,
of
we'll
see.
bring them on to the next round, the PM.
Yeah, and then we'll announce it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you only have till tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah, you only have 6
So,
months to do
right.
this, so do it quickly. But, so I'm going to ask you one more question. We ask almost everybody this. Each of you, what's the best advice you could give to an aspiring musician or a new band coming up and coming? And I only ask you this not because all of us here at the table are old. We're not, but we're all grandparents, right?
Yep.
Did you have to tell everybody that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm that old.
No, you're not that. It's just, because you've got grandparents, you could have started
Yeah.
younger, right? Yeah.
Way to change the mindset.
Yes.
Anyway, back to the original question. What's the best advice you can give an aspiring musician who wants to do what you guys do?
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, don't give up is obviously the easy answer, but I will say that I think one of the keys for our success has been we are absolutely religious about practice. If you're in a band, everybody has to be committed. And we spend countless hours practicing. We probably practice at least 40 times a year, almost weekly, other than some vacations and Christmas or whatever. At least 40 sometimes a year. And in other bands that I've been in, and others that I know, they don't practice that much. Now, everybody has their own thing, how many times they want to perform or what
Sure.
that should be. But we just believe in that really, really has been the key to our success. So if you're really going to commit yourself to it, you just need that practice. You got to force yourself to come up with a regular schedule of practice. And that's the way you get better.
That's good advice.
Dedication to your craft.
You have to. I mean, you don't have to if you don't really want to get better
Or grow.
achieve a goal.
Right.
Because I know bands that, listen, we want to play 3 times a year. These are our 16 songs. We're going to play those 16 songs every time. And that's okay. That's their wheelhouse. But if you want to do kind of more the thing that we do and play out a lot and have some fun that way, then yeah, you got it.
Up to 200 songs.
It's work.
Right.
It's
Well,
period.
our band practice is not the time for you to practice your individual part.
Right.
Yeah,
You
we
should
practice
know
that.
that before. You practice that on your own, and you come to band practice prepared with that night's rehearsal too.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
And
good
then
point.
practice is the place where you gel and you click and you become one organism.
Yeah.
And you feed off of each other, and that's where the magic happens.
Yes.
But if you come unprepared, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So I've been in other, groups where people come and they're just learning it at the time at practice, and that's fine if that's how you want to spend the time together. But you're never going to get to that next level where you're really clicking
Yeah.
as a band, as a group, where you're feeding off each other's
And that's
energy.
really right. That's a great
Well
point
put.
because the work that takes place outside of practice is almost as much as practice. And
Yeah.
I think what we do at practice is we more than kind of see where everybody is and put the song together with what we're all doing. That's what our practices are, and there's a certain redundancy to it. You can't really get into a groove on a song until you've practiced it numerous times. It's just
Oh, exactly.
so. That's
well,
important.
what happens is then when you are on stage, everybody looks up and says, "Boy, that can make it look so easy," but it's not.
Yeah.
You put in the work.
We have put in the work, yeah.
And once you do that, then you can really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then you can enjoy the moments when you're performing because you're tight already. You've practiced your endings. You've practiced the transition to the bridge, out of the bridge. You've practiced everybody knows how we're going to start this song. And,
Mhm.
and then you can relax and enjoy. And that is contagious to the audience. I think if you're having a good time, you know, you're able to share that with your people and they feel that.
Right. And I think the other point to make in this regard is the fact that people have to realize practice. When people think about that, no, that's boring or that's hard. I don't want to do that, but it's not. Practice can be fun, and you're playing. But once you do it a few times, you play anything 200 times. Now you don't have to think about it anymore. You're
Correct.
just going to be able to just go in and play it.
Yep.
Makes a big difference.
It does.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being with us today. It's been so much fun. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Bring the whole
having us.
band back.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Even Paul. You know,
Yeah.
Paul. Yeah. And it's
You never know what he's gonna say though, so
Yeah, I
it's risky.
wouldn't necessarily give him a microphone.
didn't say he would do it.
It's internet. You're fine.
Okay.
He's the eye candy. So,
True.
we'll sit him up front here at the piano and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Randy Leggee, Jody Fields, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tim Paul and Drew backstage. Did you have any final questions there?
No, actually, just one more time, quick statement for these guys. You know, Bourbon Country, May 3rd, Raue Center for the Arts here in Crystal Lake. Please go check them out and check out their Facebook. Randy, you want to throw that out there real quick? Just,
Bourbon Country Music.
Yep, Bourbon Country Music on Facebook. Check out their up and coming calendar. That way you can follow them around and be the groupies. Sound great?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. We will see you next time around the piano. So long for now.